This call is being recorded.
Okay. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And that quote is from Harriet Tubman. Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This is Power and a Half Hour, episode number 20, called I Am the Greatest. All right, if you guys want to go back and listen to this call, you can go back and listen to it. The callback number is 718-867-6700. It'll be up tomorrow. Or you can go to www.powerandahalfhour.com. I'm putting together my third book right now. I'm almost done with my second one, and I'm putting together my third book. So I'm asking that if you guys have any questions that you're afraid to ask at the end of these calls, because it gets all quiet at the end of the calls, please email them to me because I would love to use them for a project that I'm doing. My email address is power, I-N-N-A half hour, so powerandahalfhour@gmail.com. All right, and I will respond to the questions, and I will use them for my third book. All right, for those of you that are on Facebook, we have a Power and a Half Hour Facebook group. Please go ahead and join that group. And then you can find me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Mark, M-A-R-K-S-T-A-R-R. Now, for those of you, every single week, this is our 20th call, and I advocate this reading group every single week just because it's that important. It's amazing. I had a talk with one of the guys that listens to this call yesterday, and we were talking about reading. And I think that the reason why let me speak for myself. I know for a long time I hated reading just because I kind of felt that it was forced upon me. I think my parents understood how important reading was, but for some reason I didn't, and I hated it, and I thought that every time they asked me to read, it was a punishment. So I went probably about 30-something years of my life without reading, just doing the minimal amount of reading that I had to do. But I can't emphasize how important reading is. Now I'm a reading machine. I read everything that comes between reading and listening to audiobooks. You guys join a book club if you find it hard for you to read, so you can kind of correspond with other people, and it'll make it that much easier. Because I can tell you right now, all the information that you need to get to improve your life is going to be in a book. Just over the last 5 or 6, 7 years that I've really started reading has dramatically changed my life. So the book that we're reading in the A Lady Named Pearl book club is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and that's Maya Angelou's autobiography. Phenomenal book. Go ahead and join. And the last announcement before we get started is to join my daily message service, Be Better Daily. Text BBETTERDAILY to 411-247. I hope you guys are ready. We're about to go in tonight. All right, so the first person that I want to profile is Dolly Parton. Now, when she was in the 3rd grade, 2 men from the Gideons came to her school. Now, for those of you that don't know who the Gideons were, I didn't realize when I kind of did the research for this, but I realized after. Those are the people that put the Bibles in all the hotel rooms. Now, one of the men handed out keychains with a plastic ball attached at the end. Inside the ball was a single mustard seed with a piece of paper and a Bible verse written on it. Now, this is what the paper said. If ye have faith, even as much as a single seed of mustard, ye shall be able to move mountains. And that comes from the Good Bible, Luke 17:6. Now, the 2 men told the children a story about a man who put the mustard seed verse to the test. He prayed all night that the mountain to the east of his house would be in the west when he went outside the next morning. Now, when he looked outside the next morning and saw the mountain in the same place, he said, "See there, I knew it." How many of us do that every single day? Now, later on in her life, Dolly Parton made this statement while thinking back on how far her life has come from the poverty of her childhood. This is what she said. I knew my dreams would come true. He knew his wouldn't. And that, as they say, have made all the difference. Now, the man in the story was looking for signs to confirm what he already believed, that the mountain was still going to be there when he woke up. How many times have we done this? And this is the reason why when most people pray, the prayer doesn't work. Because they go into the situation with no belief, no faith that whatever it is that they're wanting in their life is going to actually happen. You got to have belief. You got to have faith. Okay, the second person that I'm going to profile tonight is Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, he was the Emperor of France from 1804 to 1815. Now, he was one of the greatest commanders in history, and Napoleon almost conquered the world. Let me tell you a little bit about how he got started. When Napoleon was a little boy, his grandmother called him over and gave him a very special gift. It was a beautiful star sapphire stone. She told young Napoleon that he must take care of the stone because it had magical powers to make whoever owned it the Emperor of France. Man, we have to be... All right, let me go on. Napoleon was so impressed by the stone, he kept it his whole life. Napoleon went on to become the Emperor of France. Now, do you guys think this is a coincidence? I think not. Now, when Napoleon died, the stone was examined by expert jewelers and found to be a worthless fake. The precious magical stone with the power to make whoever owned it the Emperor of France was nothing more than a cheap imitation of a sapphire. Now, the stone didn't have the power, but guess what had the power? Napoleon's faith had the power. He believed that he would be the Emperor of France, and that's exactly why he did it. That's exactly why he did it. That's why it's so important for us, those of us that have children, to start implanting certain things into their head, letting them know that they can accomplish, they can do whatever it is that they want to do in life. And we need to be the example. And we need to let them know that we can do whatever it is that we want, and they can do it as well. Okay, the third person that I want to talk about is Muhammad Ali. Now, for those of you that don't know, Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest boxers and the greatest athletes of all time. Now, I recently watched a biography about him and would like to share a few quotes and lessons on what I learned from studying Muhammad Ali. Number one, this is the first quote. He said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Now, if we want to be a champion in life, we must put in the work. I said this a couple calls ago. The only place where work comes before, where success comes before work, is in the dictionary. If you want to be great, you have to put the work in. Number two, the fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym, and out there on the road, long before I dance under the lights. Now, most people that accomplish great things make it look easy, but it isn't easy. They work, and then they work again even more. That's why I like studying athletes. To be a great athlete, you have to have a lot of not only physical, but mental toughness. A lot of us can learn a whole lot by studying these superior athletes. They just happen to make it look easy, but it isn't easy. They put in tons and tons and tons of work. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you ever want to be great in anything that you do, you're going to have to put the work in. You can't just be casual about it. It's something that Les Brown always says, that if you're casual about life, you will become a casualty. I want to repeat that. If you are casual about life, you will become a casualty. Now, there's this book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, where he talks about this 10,000-hour rule. And what he did is he went back and studied some of the super successful. I remember he studied the Beatles and he studied Bill Gates. And what he came to find out was that both of them put in over 10,000 hours of work, and that's why they were as great as they were. A lot of times you see these musicians that are just phenomenal, or these people they put the work in. They put the work in. We only see when they come to the limelight. But please believe they were working for years and years. I just watched the autobiography on Jimi Hendrix.